All
Coach, can you hear
right.
us okay?
I sure can.
We're ready.
All right. Well, listen, everybody that was here practice. So we had a good day today. Obviously we have a little bit of the COVID thing going around, and some guys are in the protocol there for that, which we understand. I mean, it's league wide, and we get it. We look forward to the challenge. We're playing Pittsburgh, and we know we all had a chance to watch them, and now we've had a chance to study them early here, and we understand they're a good football team, and so we'll get ourselves ready this week and prepared to play again against a good team. So with that, time's yours.
Let's go first to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce are pretty big names to be on this list. When you receive that kind of news, just what's your reaction? What are the conversations amongst the offense like in potentially having to respond without them?
Yeah. So Pete, we've gone through this for 2 years now. So, anything's possible, and we get it. And the next guys, we've got to be ready to go. There's they've given us opportunities to replace people with the number of practice squad and elevations and this and that. So, we just go next man up and roll and hope those guys get better. I mean, it's the same way on the other side with the fellas, Pete. They've got to stay prepared too. They don't know when they'll test back in, and so they've got to be ready to go that way too. So, it's a crazy thing that's in motion, fluid, as you'd say. So we just gotta hang with it and make sure everybody's prepares himself and ready to play.
Let's go next to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach, a couple of questions here for you. Speaking of getting ready to play, I saw L'Jarius Sneed out there. When you get a guy like him back, and in light of Fenton and Ward on the COVID list, how comfortable is it to you knowing that your defensive back group should be okay with Sneed back? And I'll have a second question after this.
Yeah, so we're glad that he's back. L'Jarius has gone through a couple of rough weeks here, and so but he's in a good place and is ready to go. And so that's great to get him back in. I think it's good for our team. I also think it's good for him just overall to kind of keep his mind off of the other thing. So and be able to move forward there. So everybody's fired up to have him back.
And my second coach, Joshua Kane, I saw him out there lined up for practice. Is this a positive sign that he is designated to return from injured reserve? And what did you see out of him today?
Yeah, so he's made great progress. So, we're glad that he's back and healthy and going. And we'll just see how things go here.
Next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Andy, just first wanted to check that Willie Gay and Josh Gordon are the only two who came off the COVID list today.
Yeah, they were out there today.
Okay, and there were no new additions at all?
Not unless you guys have them. I mean,
Okay.
just what. No.
All right. And how is this changing your daily operation? Are you guys doing anything differently than you otherwise would in this case?
No, we've gone back to that same schedule we had last year and changed up a couple things there. But other than that, no, I mean, we're doing the same things. Yeah. Just making sure we follow the protocol here, stay intact with what the league wants us to stay with.
Let's go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hello, Andy. I have two questions for you as well. I'll start with, given how many guys are available to you right now, just how much does that change the game plan at all? I know at times you've talked about setting up a game plan for matchups. So just wonder how much that's fluid right now, given the circumstances. And Brad, I'll have a follow-up.
Yeah, well, we might have to pull you off of the IR list, man, and get you out there, Nate. Doggone it. No, we're okay. I mean, we've got plenty of bodies and guys that want to play. And so that's how nothing has really changed. We plug the next person in and here we go. It's kind of how we're rolling right now.
And given that, Andy, just what have you seen from the Steelers, and how much of the game plan just stays intact just because you know who you're playing and you have obviously film of that team to sort of prepare yourself for?
Yeah, well, they're a good football team. They do a lot of different things offensively and defensively, and likewise special teams. I mean, you got to be on your A game with them. So, and you saw what they did this past weekend, and we've got with Tennessee. So, I mean, we've got to cover everything, and then we've got to make sure that we do what our guys do best and get out and play. I mean, that's how we roll. And but they're a heck of a team. Yeah.
So next is Seren Petro. Go ahead, Seren.
Brad, I'll have a quick follow-up. Coach, I think I know the answer to this, but I just want to make sure there isn't some technology that you guys have that maybe the layperson has, that you have an indicator of when somebody will come back, that as you're testing, you can kind of project that, okay, it's getting better, maybe by Friday, or is it just all or nothing every time one of the players that's infected tests?
Yeah, well, Rick has to do all this. He's got to go through all the numbers and then the different options of positive tests, negative tests, and he works through all of that. And I'm glad he does, so, but the league has a whole, protocol out there that you've got to kind of follow to get a guy back on the field. So,
Yeah.
But Rick's in charge of that. Yeah.
And I understand, but there isn't like something that you were like, hey, this guy's close. It's pretty much just positive or negative, and you're just kind of waiting on that.
Yeah. I mean, you get those. Yeah. Yeah. There are a couple tests that they have to take, and, one might be one might be negative, and then you're waiting on the second test,
Okay.
make sure it's negative.
And then Noah Gray, if he's called upon, he's been around now most of the year, almost a full year in the NFL. How would you say his readiness is right now?
Yeah. So we put him in the games here. So we trust him. He's been in quite a little bit actually. So, if he ends up being the guy in there, at least he's got a few plays under his belt, and we have a lot of trust in him. So we'll just see how that rolls if it happens that way.
We'll go last two, Sam McDowell and then Matt. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Andy, I got a couple of things for you. I wonder just first of all, has there been any conversations, even if preliminary, with the league at all about moving the game?
Not that I've heard of. No, it hasn't come through me.
And then secondly, last year you guys made it through the stretch run in the playoffs of your season. Obviously you had different protocols in place. There weren't vaccines, all that stuff. What's your level of concern that this could be long lasting? I know I'm asking you to sort of predict the unpredictable, but what's just the level of concern that this could go into a postseason? You guys could be dealing with this for the long haul.
Yeah. I mean, we're prepared if that happens. You can't predict it. We went this long without it. And so now we're kind of working through it. And you see different teams going through these stretches where that happens. And, that's kind of where we're at. So I don't know what's going to happen going forward.
We'll go last to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Coach, you kind of alluded to it in your first question about, the guys need to be ready to play. And Mike Tomlin earlier said that coaches have to absorb a little bit more responsibility in these situations for getting guys ready. What is that kind of role for getting, guys that might not normally play, or guys that would in a normal week, be their responsibility, be servicing the first team, and this week they might be responsible to play? What's your message to them?
Yeah. So very similar probably to what Mike said, that and you've done a lot of prep work up to this point, meeting with these guys, knowing that this could possibly happen. So it wasn't just starting this week. It's been going on where you meet extra and make sure you're coaching these guys up, especially the newer players, younger players, so that if in case of emergency, then they can get themselves in and participate. So you don't want to wait till the actual fact happens, but just a reminder, I remind them every week, make sure you're prepared as we go forward.